Welcome to Ривет-Сити. Please wait while the bridge extends.
Hold it right there. State your business in Ривет-Сити. Research, huh? I can't help you there, but you're free to ask around inside. Just don't start any trouble. We're the safest, most secure city in the wasteland. Nothing can get in here without our say-so. I don't exactly have time to worry about the history around here, now do I? I've got to worry about what's happening on it now. Carry on, then.
Hey. I'm on duty. Make it quick. Oh, really? If someone took your stuff, go get it back. If they shoot at you, shoot back. Otherwise, I've got to see it for myself before I'm going to do anything.
Yes? Don't tell me your problems. I can give you a history of every fight in this place, but a history of the city? I got nothing. Bell's probably heard stories, but be careful asking about them. People like the privacy, you know? Otherwise, you might end up as history. Don't let the door hit you on the ass.
Who are you? Got any psycho? I could really use a fix, but I'm broke. Ha! I run the chem shop, but I'm broke and can't buy chems. That's what Cindy says too, but I got the itch. I need it bad. Huh? History? What history? There's no history here, man. It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Yeah, me too. Make it quick, will ya? I'm coming down and I got... Thanks, man. I really need this fix.
Don't mind me. Stay away from me! What do you want? Are you one of them? I suppose it doesn't matter if I tell you. I used to be a slave. I saw a slaver on this ship. His name is Sister. Really? Oh, thank you. Can you help me? I've been so worried with him around. I can hardly sleep at night. Thank you. I'll go to Flak and Shrapnel's just before closing. I don't have anything to give you, but I think I can trust you with a secret. If you ever go up north, there is a secret slave hideout called Temple of...
What do you want? My mom is probably drunk, and my dad's dead. Is that good enough for you, asshole?
Ah, hello. Yeah? What do you want? Oh, really? My husband ran off and got himself killed and left me to raise his little brat. So don't you tell me how I should or shouldn't be. Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, that's James. My own little troublemaking brat. I'd sell him to you if they'd let me. Unless you've got any more personal questions, I'm busy.
Yes? Haven't run into you before. You probably wouldn't remember me anyway. I'm Mr. Lopez. Nobody does. I'm not very memorable. Don't worry, it won't be a problem for much longer. What?
Yes? I'm Cindy. Cindy Cantelli. I'm a quick fix. I run a quick fix. Anyway, you were saying? No. I would never do that. Paulie did. Sample it, I mean. He's dead now, thank God. Well, I don't really know, to tell the truth. How does any city get started, really? But I've heard Bannon talk about how he was responsible for its success, so I'd ask him about it. The Muddy Rudder. Bell waters down the liquor, but it's cheap. It's on the lower deck.
I'm on duty. Make it quick. She's some sort of genius. You know, one of those egghead scientist types. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Yeah. It's locked for a reason. Don't get any ideas.
The android's decided on extreme measures. He knows all the techniques of the retrieval trade, and is afraid facial reconstruction isn't enough. He wants his memories erased and replaced with new ones. I don't know how that's gonna work. Start asking around for trustworthy tech heads. We need to find something called a circuit neuralizer, and a person who knows how to use one. Also, we have a lipoplasticator and microdermal graftalizer. Now we need to find a doctor able and willing to perform the facial reconstruction. We need to hurry. They've come very close to discovering the railroad.
You've been rather busy lately. Asking questions, investigating. So is that it? You're some kind of investigator? A detective for hire? Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Please tell me. I'd really like to know. Well, if that's true, then the first thing you need to do is halt your investigation. No more questions. No more searching. The movement I'm involved with, we help his kind escape their Commonwealth-imposed slavery. We help them disappear. You understand? You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Ривет-Сити. Tell him the android is dead, and that was on the corpse. He'll believe you. Do that, and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that, and you'll have saved a man's life. We call ourselves the Railroad. Our mission is the rescue and salvation of synthetic humanoids. Androids, as they're more commonly known. Yes, if we are able, but there are others in the wasteland who assist in the plight of human slaves. Our android brethren have only us. Of course, if you help me, and thus the android, God and the universe will smile upon you. Is there any better compensation? Just understand that this android is now, for all intents and purposes, a man. He looks human, he acts human, he believes he is human. But even if he's not, even if he's a machine, he's capable of rational thought and emotion. So you see, his soul is as human as yours or mine. This person, and he is a person, deserves a chance at freedom. Please, if there's a shred of decency in you, don't take that away from him. Tell you what, you deliver that component to Zimmer and tell him the android is dead, and you can consider yourself a member in good standing. Just understand, but this you know what you need to do. Was there something else? You know.
Don't even think of breaking into that.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers. Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave? Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie. Straight to the point. I like that. Pleasure doing business with you. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes. A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative. Come back soon.
Welcome to a quick fix. Nice to see you again. Are you looking for a quick fix? We've got all kinds of chems. A pleasure doing business with you. I'm...
There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday. The gate guard said the gunfire went on for over an hour.
Maybe a quick...
Howdy, I'm Seagrave. Seagrave Holmes. I have a little of just about everything here. A what? Look, if you just want to crack wise, go somewhere else. But if you've got stuff you want to sell, then I'm your man. Yep, old Pinkerton. They say he helped found Ривет-Сити. Must be some sort of crazy genius. He kind of vanished a long time ago. I don't know where he went, but you might ask around the ship. Steal it? Hardly. He runs the council like it's his own personal bank account. He's supposed to represent all the market businesses, not just himself. It's about time he was replaced. Oh, I really wouldn't know. I mean, long as I can remember, she's just been here, soaking up all the repairs and attention we can give her. I grabbed a wrench and joined in the reconstruction pretty much first thing out of the womb, but I never really cared about the politics. Oh, well, the old girl had seen a lot of damage, especially where the Mirelurks used to nest, and where the super mutants kept trying to get in. I guess the mutants and the Myers got so busy fighting each other, it gave us the time we needed to make this place shipshape. Does that tell you what you need to know? Anyway, we're here in Ривет-Сити, and she's in good hands now. Last feller I remember from back then was Mr. Pinkerton, and he must have left about a decade ago, after that spat with the science team. He used to have a storage shed in the broken-off bow of the ship. We always thought he was crazy for keeping stuff there. Might have kept a couple records down there, I guess. Careful, though. Ship's a bit treacherous down there in her belly. Oh, right. I sort of lose track of time talking about the old girl. I've got a little bit of everything. A pleasure doing business with you. See you.
That's
Fix
why
has
I'm
something
glad
that
I'm
will
in
help
here.
you sleep.
Good old Ривет-Сити.
Cindy's got all kinds of good cures.
Nothing is getting through these
I'll
walls.
try it. This here is Flak and Shrapnel's gun shop. Pretty catchy, huh? Take a look around. If you see anything you like, I'll be right over here. Here, in Ривет-Сити, I'm packing, and most of the rest of these guys are packing, not to mention security. You mean Genius Boy? Yeah, I've heard of him. Supposedly built Ривет-Сити. They probably think he invented bread, too. Idiots. Lately, he's even been blamed for the noises in the broken ship bow. Anyone with half a brain would know that's just the Mirelurks. Fred, I can't help you, pal. Been here for years, but all I know about the history is that it's a safe place to settle down. Maybe Bannon can help you out. He sure acts like he knows it all. Need to do some killing, eh? Another no. If you need...
Let me or a security officer know if you see anything out of the ordinary.
Have a seat anywhere. Let me introduce myself. I am Gary Staley, gourmet chef and gourmand. I'll be preparing your meal. My specialty is Meyerlurk cakes, although the iguana is very popular too. Then you are in for a treat. I know a lot of places opened up when they got the hydroponics bay working, but that's hardly the start of it all, is it? Actually, Vera Weatherly might know more. She's always here and talking with folks, so if anyone's picked up a story or two, it'd be her. Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
Died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better.
I'll be right. Hi, I'm Angela. My dad runs Gary's Galley. If you want anything to eat, talk to him. It's named after my dad. He's a great cook. She's not very social. Stays in her lab in the stern. She's smart, though. Real smart. James's mom, Tammy, is a real bitch. She treats him like crap. I think it's because she drinks too much. It's noisy, dark, and smelly. But we're safe here. No super mutants or raiders. And maybe Dr. Lee will find a way to get clean water for us. Here's a menu. I heard the place. Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
Yes?
Yes?
Are you having fun with that? I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
You don't look so tough.
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. I'm your hostess, Vera Weatherly. You haven't heard? Angela has the hots for Diego. But since he's a priest, he's been putting her off. One of these days, she's just going to jump his bones. They say Mr. Lopez is losing it. He stands on the top of the bridge tower for hours at a time, just staring out over the city. Poor James. His mother drinks too much. When she does, she doesn't treat him very well. Personally, I think she blames him for his father leaving her, which is ridiculous. Well, I could tell you all about my hotel. But I'm sure I don't know anything about how Ривет-Сити itself got started. I mean, you hear rumors and you make guesses, but I really couldn't say I know for sure. And I'd hate to lead you down the wrong path. Well, if it'll help, I once heard that this place was covered in Meyerlurks 50 years ago, raiding all around the city. Eventually, some poor soul they thought would be lunch fought back and cleared out the whole ship. He set up the city in their place. They say he was the first counselor for the upper deck and lived here to his death. Can't say I believe it a bit. But it's a nice tale to tell. Farewell. Welcome back, sir. It's noisy, dark, and smelly. But we're safe here. No super mutants or raid. Fair.
Hello, mister.
City Council.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. It's a boat. A really big boat. James says his dad built it, but I don't know. I think he's making stuff up. Bye.
Is debating putting railings on the flight deck.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure they'll do something about it. You're in the Ривет-Сити clinic. I'm Dr. Preston. Pinkerton, eh? That name takes me way back. Claimed to have cured radiation poisoning. Or was it food poisoning? I don't recall. He was always telling folks that he founded Ривет-Сити. All he did was break off the front of it. Or did he die there? I don't recall. Don't get any cute ideas. Security is just a shout away. Now, if you've got any medical issues, let's hear them. Oh, I'd like to help. I really would. But I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here. Take care of yourself. I really hope you're not thinking of breaking into there.
Hey there.
Look.
Please excuse me. There is much work to be done. I help Dr. Lee when she needs equipment moved. I am no scientist. I just help with the heavy things.
Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about...
I'm Janice Kaplinsky, chief botanist. What do you need? If it hasn't got to do with the science quarters, I'm probably not the one to ask. And Dr. Lee's so busy, you really shouldn't disturb her work. I did see a man talking to Dr. Lee, but I really shouldn't be discussing it. She's already in a bad mood. I'd hate to make it worse. You should probably just talk to her about it. So long.
It's a runaway robot, and we don't care.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here? You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Ривет-Сити. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same. I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough. James, he was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again. Okay. You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already. Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone. The last I knew, he was headed back to the lab at Project Purity in the old Jefferson Memorial Building. I still say it's dangerous, and he shouldn't have risked it. That's all I know. Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know? It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier. Okay. What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Ривет-Сити and established the lab you see before you now. This is the Ривет-Сити Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule. That idiot? He left so long ago, most folk don't even remember him. He claimed to have found a secret stash of technology somewhere in the ship. Then he just disappeared. Ривет-Сити is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again. I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days. What do you want to know? Okay. Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors or your chasing after him. I'm sorry. I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you. Good luck finding your father.
This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake. The technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself. What do you need? Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it? She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here, though that's not saying much.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire? This could be an opportunity of a lifetime for you. I've misplaced some very sensitive property, and you will help me find it. You'll be searching for an android. Do you know what an android is? No, I imagine you don't. All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. Not in the Commonwealth. I'm talking about artificial persons that think and feel and do what we program them to. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off. Nonsense! This is a machine we're talking about. Can you enslave a generator or a water purifier? Of course not. The same principle applies. But let's get back to your mission. You are to find this missing android. I've tracked him to somewhere here in the capital wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it. What? Let me see that. This is a neuroservo, unique to the A321. And you say you got this from his corpse? I suppose there's no other way you could have obtained it. Well, damn it! I was afraid this would happen. Out here in this wasteland. Well, here's 50 caps for your troubles. Try to buy yourself an education out here in this hell. Good day.
Lay a hand on Dr. Zimmer and I'll snap your neck like a chicken bone. No, thank you. Please leave Mr. Zimmer and myself alone. Then go.
It was so noisy last night. I could hardly sleep.
Maybe a quick fix has something that will help you sleep. Cindy's got all kinds of good chems.
I'll try that.
It was so noisy last night. Oh, I could hardly sleep.
Good to see you.
Good to see. This place won't clean itself. That's my job. She's my daughter. You can usually find her running around with that James Hargrave. That poor child. His mother, Tammy Hargrave, is a very troubled woman. She spends too much time down in the Muddy Rudder, drinking and using foul language. I feel so sorry for him. I think CJ is a good influence on him, but I do worry about the two of them. Oh, I don't know about that. For all I know, it's had survivors on it since the war. I'm just thankful it's here. Maybe if you ask Bannon. He's been simply wonderful on the council, so I'm sure he'd be glad to help with your question. We're the lucky ones. We don't have to fight just to survive. We have normal jobs. I clean the halls. It might not look like it, but you should have seen it before. Goodbye.
Quitting time. I can't wait to get home.
Yes?
Good to see you. I'm on duty. Make it quick. I suppose. Depends. Chief Harkness is in charge of security. He patrols the whole city. Security bunks down in the tower.
Dr. Lee kind of runs everything else. She's in the aft. That's the northeast end of the city.
Yeah. Yes?
Welcome to the... Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history. Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection. In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence. Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think? Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives. In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you. It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Ривет-Сити itself. I can't see how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all. Oh? And have you come to any conclusions?
Any trouble in this area?
I am Father Clifford. This is St. Monica's Church. She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Ривет-Сити. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come. Yes, I know. I've been counseling him for some time now. He used to go stand on the observation balcony all afternoon. He's down to only an hour or so at 3 o'clock. Oh, it's not the past of the city that I dwell upon, but the future of its inhabitants. But if you're interested, I believe Miss Weatherly or Mr. Bannon would be glad to speak with you on the subject. St. Monica bless you.
Hey there. Don't even think of breaking into that. I'm Diego, the acolyte for St. Monica's. Father Clifford. The sanctuary is in the ship's fore on the upper deck. The good father holds services every Sunday morning.
Nothing stops the railroad. You did a good thing delivering that component to Zimmer, telling him the android was dead. For that, I'm going to entrust you with some information. The android's transformation was done by a man named Pinkerton, here in Ривет-Сити. He's hidden down in the broken fore section of the ship. You'll need to swim to reach him, but if you're inclined, Pinkerton can perform a facial reconstruction on you as well. It won't disguise your identity, but you'll be able to experience life in a new skin and truly understand that we're all human on the inside.
Good to see you.
Hey there.
It's getting late. I should go.
What are you doing?
Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. Private Jones reporting. Sir, that's a really stupid idea, sir. Sir, you are not authorized to enter the armory. Sir, please don't make me shoot you, sir.
Hey. I'm on duty. Make it quick.
Sir, yes, sir. Please.
says you're ugly and a bitch, too.
Why are you so mean sometimes? I'm always nice to you. Anything going on?
Good to see you.
God bless you.
Saint Monica bless you.
Hello.
Hey, stranger. Hey, good looking. How come you haven't bought me a drink yet? Tightwad? No, wait, I didn't mean that. Please, mister, just one drink? Can't help you with the history, honey. You're lost, sugar. Come and see me again sometime.
What do you have?
I'll say when I've had enough. You aren't my mother, Belle, so fuck off.
I'm Belle Bonnie, and this is the Muddy Rudder. I'll tell you what I tell all the fresh meat. Don't start anything down here, or I'll have Brock kick your ass. You must be drunk. Are you gonna order or what? History? What, not enough shit around here already? You need to dig up more? Don't know if it ever had an official start. It's just been here forever. Stuck in the river and full of assholes. No, I can't fucking well share one. What sort of moron are you? But fine. If it'll get you out of my face, go down to Pinkerton's shed in the broken-off bow of the ship. If he decides to give you a history lesson, it's no business of mine. Now get the hell out of my bar. One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hello! Just leave me alone. Why bother? Just leave that. How?
heard she was drinking. What the hell do you want? Go talk to Vera if you want gossip. I don't talk bad about folks. History? Huh. Why, that lying son of a bitch. He wasn't even born when I got here. Want to know this tub's history? Only person who really knows it is Pinkerton. And most think he's dead, or gone. He's holed up in the other half of the ship, and he don't like visitors. He'll set you straight. I'll be right here when you get thirsty.